my way. I need space to get the fake love. Get out my way. I need space on my.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Damian Crier. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, blessed, and amazing day today. Your boy is doing okay. It's extremely early morning. I'm just really waking up. I'm still in my hotel room. So I got to thinking a couple weeks ago, like a lot of my videos or a lot of my vlogs or whatever, mukbangs, I tell you guys, like I try to give you guys more of me. More of me than just what you see in the YouTube video. I try to give you guys a little bit more of me as far as my life, where I come from, and basically I never really tell you guys where I'm trying to go. Not yet, but I tell you where I come from. And in multiple videos, I have said that, like when I got shot and stuff, and people asked me to do a documentary, I still never did one. I never put one together. Who knows, maybe one day I will. But every time I come back home to Indiana, and I still say home, even though I live in Houston, Indiana's gonna always be my home. Always. I can come back at any given time. All I gotta do is pack up and go. Just like that, nothing stop me. So I always call it home. But every time I do come back home, I drive past my old stomping grounds, but I never ever stop. I never stop and get out the car. I'm always sitting behind tinted windows so nobody really knows like who I am or what I'm driving. Especially now since I got another vehicle. They see that blue Mustang, they 9 times out of 10 like, oh, that's Damien. So the point that I'm trying to drive, man, is that like when I come back home, I always try to ride past my old stomping grounds, like, where I grew up at, where I went to school at. Even sometimes I ride through old neighborhoods to see if certain houses is still built. And one day, I was thinking to myself, when I go to Indiana, why not do a different type of video? Basically, take you guys in some really rough areas of Fort Wayne, where I actually had almost lost my life at, where it almost ended for me. And that video is so hard for me to do, but I'm gonna do it for you guys. It's gonna be pretty emotional for me, even going back to the scene of where my life almost ended on that day. The year that I got shot in 1997, the homicide rate that year was 43 homicides during the first 5 months of that year. I believe I got shot, I think it was in May of 2017. I'm sorry, 2017, 1997, not 2017, guys, I'm sorry. 1997, the homicide rate by the month of May had already reached 43 homicides, and I could have been the 44th. And every time I think about that, man, it is crazy. It's crazy. Like, when it gets cold, I get bad arthritis in my arm, because that's where the first bullet had struck me. When I knocked at the door, the bullet went through my arm, came out my elbow. I don't know if you guys can actually see this. You actually see that. That was the first bullet hole right there that actually went in, and the bullet came out my elbow. Can't really show you guys the other bullet holes, but yeah, so I was thinking, why not? Well, first of all, I had to build up enough courage to actually do it and go back over there. I have to build up enough courage to actually drive down that street, get out of my vehicle, and actually let you guys walk with me while I record where they actually shot me at. the location where they found me at on the ground, the house that I was in or lived at when I got shot. Even when I got out the hospital, I even went back to the same house that was just like a few doors down from where I almost lost my life at. So I'm gonna do this video for you guys today. I don't know how this video is going to end. I don't know if it's going to have an ending to it. All I know is that today is going to be an extremely emotional day. I said while I was here, I was going to do something different and show you guys a little bit more about my life, where I came from, where I grew up at, what led up to me getting shot. And I know, you know, me getting shot, even though I was a victim of a shooting, I really wasn't the victim. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm gonna try to make it make sense for you guys. Basically, what I'm saying is I wasn't just an innocent bystander who just got shot minding his own business. You know, I was in everybody's business. Basically, I was selling drugs. I was out there trying to be a big baller. I wanted the hydraulics on my car. I wanted the 22-inch rims. I think back in the day they called them Inkies. I wanted a set of Inkies on my Cadillac. I had a really old Cadillac, big body style, but it was pretty clean. So I wasn't the victim of mistaken identity or anything like that. I was out there selling, doing what I thought was the right thing to do for me to make a little bit extra cash. But then I found out the hard way that that wasn't the right way for me to make cash. Back then, we thought it was cool to, you know, sell. I mean, back then, in kind of a way it was back then, because like it was so much money to make, and seeing how people come from nothing to just having everything, you just wanted that type of life, man. And I find out later on down the line, after multiple years of arthritis, when it gets cold or when it rains, multiple years of those flashbacks, every time I hear a gunshot or hearing fireworks go off, every time I think about when I was laying on that ground, all I felt was wetness. And it wasn't from the grass, it was wetness from all those bullet holes in me. And I just felt so much wetness coming out of my body. And it's like it's like everything was a blank. When I think about what I was doing back then, it just really messes me up a lot to think that I was really out there living that type of lifestyle instead of trying to be a better man, a better father, you know. But today I'm gonna be taking you guys on this journey with me. I'm gonna be taking you guys to the location where I used to live at. I'm gonna take you guys to the location where I got shot at, where they actually found me on the ground. So, guys, put your seatbelt on. We finna go on this ride. It's not gonna be an easy one. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna get out of my truck or not, or if I'm just gonna do the video inside my truck, showing you like the house, the background. This early in the morning, everybody's gonna be at school, and a lot of people will probably be at work. So I'm a little nervous to get out the car with a camera in my hand, especially in the hood. You get out of the car with a camera in your hand filming people's houses, they probably gonna be like feeling some type of way. So I'm gonna try to be really careful. So anyway, let me know what you guys think of this video, and I'm gonna see you when we get there. So let's go. I'm actually on the street where I got shot at multiple times, 1997. I'm actually approaching the house. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually, I said I wasn't gonna get out of my truck, but you know what? I'm gonna get out of my truck. Just for a second. I ain't gonna get out of my truck for long, because I don't know, like, basically what to expect, being that I'm outside people's house with a camera. But I'm gonna get out for a second and just show you guys. Basically, I'm gonna show you this little house right here. I don't know if you guys can see this house right here behind me. This house is where I actually stayed at. You know what? I'm gonna get out the truck. Hope like hell I don't get shot again. So yeah, this is Manford Street. I'm gonna walk down a little bit. This is Manford Street right here at Fort Wayne. So I remember being in this neighborhood right here, man. We were selling drugs. Everybody had a gun. This was like the party area. So this right here, this house right here is where I lived at when I got shot. I'm hoping I don't have any problems out here. I just parked my truck right here on the street. So yeah, I lived in that house right there where I got shot at. And basically my car was parked in the driveway of this house. My car was parked in this driveway right here. And one day I ended up getting a phone call. Now back then I was selling drugs, I'm not gonna lie. And a guy that I know very well, he lived like 4 doors down. He called me, he said, it was like 2 in the morning. He said, hey bro, can you bring me 6 for $100? Back then we were slanging those pebbles and they was $20 a piece. So he was like, can you bring me 6 for $100? So I was like, yeah, I got you, bro. So my Cadillac was parked right there where that car's parked at. I jumped in my Cadillac and I put it in reverse. And I reversed. I'm finna walk 4 houses down. So 1, 2, and 3. Bam. This house right here is where I got shot at. When I got shot, I fell in the grass right here. I fell in the grass. My car was right here with his truck at. And I basically crawled on my elbows. Out to my car where the shooting kept occurring. He kept shooting and shooting and shooting. I remember the first bullet caught me in the arm. And there's a house right here. They got a new door up now. 3 of the bullets that hit me had went through this door right here across the street. And there was a lady had lived in that house. We used to call her Candy. Her nickname was Candy. And she was, I remember her coming out the house screaming and stuff. And I remember laying in this very spot right here in this grass. Literally, I was on my elbows crawling, trying to get away. And I was trying to pull my gun out too. But it seemed like the more that I tried to pull my gun out of my waistband, the bullets just kept hitting me and hitting me and hitting me and hitting me. And there was nothing I can do. The last thing I remember is seeing like the flashing lights. I remember a bunch of police cars, sirens in the background. I remember waking up and them cutting my clothes off me, like trying to count the bullet holes before they took me to the hospital. And I don't know, man. I remember when I got out of the hospital, like it may have been like a month later. I was in hospital forever, it seemed like. I remember the police coming to the house. Remember, I came right back to this very house right here behind me. This house right behind me. 4 houses down from where I got shot at. I remember coming back to this house when I got to the hospital. And I remember the police coming to this house, knocking on the door and asking me, was I Damian Cryer? And they wanted to talk to me about what had happened to me. And I remember giving them the story about how I got shot, but I didn't tell them I was selling drugs. I just gave them some little bullshit story. I'm finna get out of here because some people riding past, slowing down, looking crazy. Especially when you outside with a camera. So I remember the police asking me like what had happened. I didn't tell the police that I got shot because I was making a drug deal. I just told them I had got robbed. So I remember one of the officers, he sat on the couch. He was like, well, Mr. Cryer, you were shot just 4 doors down. And he was like, and you're back at this house already. You know, because at the time, I didn't have anywhere else really to go. I just felt like I lived here and home was home. But I remember when I was in a hospital, in the intensive care unit. I was laying there in my hospital bed, and I remember, I'll never forget this. They said a yard or a 27-year-old man was found shot multiple times. That next day, they had found a body in the house. Apparently, when I got shot, somebody shot the person who shot me. That was crazy. That's a crazy coincidence, right? So they was questioning me as if I knew, but I'm like, bro, I was in a hospital, an intensive care unit, watching this stuff on the news while my family was around my bedside. So it ain't had nothing to do with me, but it's just crazy how that works. Somebody shot me at that house, and then like the very next day, no, like a few days later, I was in the hospital. Somebody killed the person who tried to take my life. So that just goes to show you, man, like, you never know what's going to happen today or tomorrow. That's one of those things that what goes around comes around. But I'm always telling you guys the story about when I got shot multiple times. So today I decided to bring you guys where it actually happened at. So I'm gonna take you guys over to the east side of Fort Wayne. The east side is where I actually grew up at. It's actually where everything has started for me at. Watching my mom struggle and stuff, raising 6 kids on her own, so we're gonna go over there, man. But this was like really emotional for me. I'm sitting there in my truck thinking to myself right now, like, damn, just walking back here to the scene. I mean, driving back here to the scene and pulling up and just seeing certain things. The houses is still the same. The house where the bullets went through me and hit the door across the street, I see that they got like a new door up for like, but like for like 3 or 4 years after my shooting, that same door had remained up and had those 3 bullet holes in that door. I remember when I went over to the lady's house, again, her name was Candy. Well, we called her Candy. That was like her, everybody got like a nickname. So her nickname was Candy. I remember knocking at her door and she hugged me. She was crying and she was like, oh my God, look at these 3 holes in my door. One of my kids got hit. I'm glad that you okay. And it was just really, really emotional, man. But this is crazy, just even seeing this right now, man. Just the thought of it. But yeah, man, so I'm just sitting there just thinking to myself, like, man, this is where it could have ended for me right here. This very spot is where it could have ended. I mean, it would have been over with for me. I would have been gone forever, and that was in 2000. I'm sorry, that was in 1997. If I said 2007 earlier in the video, guys, I apologize. 1997. I was 27 years old, but yeah. I'm just sitting there thinking, like, how many friends that I lost that year, the same year that I got shot. It was like the homicide rate in Indiana and Fort Wayne was like 43 that year. 43 homicides that year. I think that was in the month of May. And I was one of the lucky ones who actually survived. Most guys get hit 1 time or something. I got hit 6 times. I got shot 6 times. It's scary. Everybody's over here now grown. The people who was kids back then are all grown adults. Those adults now have kids, and some of them probably even have grandkids. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. This is gonna be continued. Yep.